I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mike is on his way to Florida, so lucky him. So, second on our agenda today is consideration of resolution for tax sale certificate, Westbrook Department of Redevelopment for one parcel.
Commissioner, the common address is 522 South 6th Street in West Terre Haute. This is a property on which the commissioners hold the certificate. This is an assignment of that certificate. The West Terre Haute Department of Redevelopment will have to go about noticing landowners with a significant property interest in that property of their redemption rights. And if nobody comes forward to redeem, which is usually how it runs, they will take a tax deed to the property and set it in their into their department for redevelopment or transfer to an adjacent landowner.
And before my time, I think you guys had already done this like for my parcel or something.
For sure.
Any questions, BK?
I have absolutely none, so I'll make a recommendation to move this forward.
I'll second. All those in favor by aye.
Aye. With conviction.
All right, number 3 is professional services agreement, Beal County Commissioners with ELZ.
This is something I know each of you have been heavily invested in. This is a proposal for DLZ to provide consultation services on the furniture, fixtures, and equipment, the entry road lighting design, and the additional months of construction. The total professional services would be $100,000. As you've become aware, there was not a clear delineation of who would go about setting the bids and the big undertaking it is to provide everything that you need from not only a business office standpoint, but also a security center standpoint. And in consultation with Garmlong, I think you've all been aware of, what the scope of services will look like in terms of putting together bid specs, sending out those to companies that have, nationwide furniture procurement services, and ultimately making a decision on what to move forward with.
And this price was originally higher, it was negotiated down to $100,000.
That's correct. It
From
was
160, I think, wasn't it? Or 140?
144 or something like that.
yeah.
Well, in full transparency, one of the things that we struggle with is, we would have to buy the furniture, and Commissioner Schweitzer and I had too many differences in color combinations and material. And so we felt it's best to have a professional buy the equipment instead of us pick out and do the entire interior designing. Because we want to make sure that we're doing what's best for the people.
Sure. And the only other thing that I'd state is
That was a joke, by the way.
there's money in the budget. Yeah, money in the budget for this. This is not
Well, it makes sense. And we're not experts in procurement by any means. So in DLC's done this before. It makes sense. It is an additional expense for the jail project that we didn't really account for, but in the end, the savings will definitely cover that.
Motion to approve.
Oh, yeah. Make a motion to approve.
I'll second. All those in favor by aye.
Aye. And we still get to pick the colors.
True. All right, number 4, consideration of vendor affidavit and resolution of authority for lease, Beal County Commissioners and the IP property.
Also, as you're aware, when the lease was executed, back in, March, it was contemplated that the city was going to have an ongoing construction project associated with that site for quite a period of time. Over the course of the last several months, it's become clear that that is not the case, and so we have been in discussion with Luke Bow Incorporated, the lessee on that property, about what other items they need to close the transaction. And the vendor affidavit and the resolution of authority is what their answer was. So that's what was prepared. And yeah, if you have any questions about it, I'd be happy to try and answer them. But essentially, the vendor affidavit verifies that you are the owner of the property and that there's no superior interest to yours. And the resolution of authority simply states that you have authority to enter into the lease under the Indiana Code, which is how this was set up.
You guys have a title company too.
That's right. Hendrick is the title company set up to close the transaction. You know, this is some of their title policy requirements as well.
I failed to ask you this while we were working on this last week, but you going over that reminded me. If the city needs to use that space again, does this allow them to do that, or are they out?
Well,
Or is that between them and Lupa?
yeah, it would be between all parties. I mean,
Okay.
you know, the county still holds a reversionary interest in the lease and has certain, yeah, I mean, it would have to include all three parties, in my opinion.
Okay.
But the specific easements that have been granted in regards to that project have been vacated, so, yeah.
So this just wraps up what we had in motion in March of 2020.
That's correct.
There's no new additions or anything on there.
No.
And he's done, or Luke Bow has done, site improvements. They've cut the grass multiple times. They've cleaned up some hazards. The fence along Prairieton Road still needs attention. We talked to Tim about that, Luke Bow about that. So it's good to see that this is still moving forward with consideration to what's been going on in the last year. So I'll go ahead. You have anything?
No, I'm good.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve everything to get this wrapped up.
All second, all those in favor by aye. Aye. All right, Mr. Bramble, review the minutes and claims. Oh, okay, sorry. We want to go ahead and do it first, or we go ahead and do this first, and we'll do it after that.
Well, the proposed rollover of asphalt services.
Oh, yeah.
Or asphalt materials.
Asphalt materials,
Sorry.
the cold pack.
Yes. So they are proposing to carry over their bid from 2020 into 2021, which is permissible under the code. The historical, they're the only ones that bid on it, or have bid on it for several years. So
They're our provider of liquid asphalt, so that's our 90S and things, liquid that we use to make our cold patch, and also we use to do chip seal projects and dust control, things like that. So, historically, they've been the only bidder, and they've just offered to roll their prices over from 2020 to 2021. So.
Larry, when we looked at this last year, it's my understanding you guys did some research, and even though they're pretty much the only one in town, they're providing pretty fair market price on that.
Correct. I mean, a lot of their stuff, they provide these materials to pretty much every county in the state. And price-wise, it depends on how close you are to the plant. plant where they make it, but for the most part, the prices are pretty level across the state. So
And it does fluctuate with the price of oil too, from what I
It
learned,
does,
so,
yeah.
so this locks us in.
This locks us in for a year and these bid prices for a year. So, next year that could really change, but the market today, I don't think there's any significant savings to rebidding it. Price would be probably about the same, so that's why they bought it and rolled over.
Did you bring something for us to sign then?
Yeah, I think, if you guys don't have, I have a copy of it here.
I've got it.
I think it's underneath it.
It does lock the price in, but if there's major change in the market or like plant materials or anything like active gas, they call them, if it gets them towed out of the contract, it does say that in there. So if there's a major fluctuation in price that they can't control, they could revert and start the whole process. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, they'd have to come back to us.
I doubt that's gonna happen, but just make everybody aware it is in there.
Yeah.
And are you good with it, Jim, doing this one? I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the agreement as it is to cover the materials for
On the very
2020.
last page.
All those in favor, by
With that said, we talked about the other materials, bidding that out. Have we started that?
We started that process and we have to get that to the auditor's office so they can advertise.
Okay,
We're running behind on that.
sounds like it.
We need to do our regular paving as well, so I think we have a new vendor for paving now, so we'll have to redo that contract for the annual bid, and then we also need to do culvert materials and then our gravel stuff.
I know you guys been working hard on getting the community crossing stuff in, so
Yeah, I had a
you get a
busy,
pass.
yeah, I had a busy month of January, so we're trying to dig out from that now, so we're moving along. We should have something hopefully next week, so we'll get it advertised.
All right, Jimmy, my turn.
I have minutes for the February 2nd meeting for approval.
Motion to approve.
You good? Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. All those in favor, by
Aye.
And then yesterday's rezoning meeting.
That was
Those
intense. That was amazing.
all 20 minutes.
Karen's minutes were extremely precise on that one. So I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. All those in favor, by
Aye.
And we've got January 30th to February 5th claims for $614,907.66 and payroll of $1,029,223.49 for a total of $1,644,131.50.
Before we approve this, we discussed the Duke Energy bill being so high that month. Can you go ahead and give us an overview as to why that's great?
Did you check on that?
We did check on it, but I just want to hear what the overview was.
From what I gathered with your secretary,
Yes.
the bill for this building itself was not,
Turned in on time.
well, yeah, it was, did not get here some way. And so that was added on to the second.
Yeah.
The last one. Plus, from what I understand, you now have lighting at the new jail that you've added on in the last year. I mean, the new jail, you got lighting down there, or a bill, you got a utility bill, Duke Energy
Yeah,
bill
but-
down there.
That shouldn't have caused that spike.
Not that much,
No.
but you have added those things on and some outside lighting and stuff, I guess, in the last year, which has kind of made that go up a little bit. But your biggest reason for the big spike was,
Bill wouldn't turn in on time. Okay. So we should anticipate the next one being abnormally low. Thanks for looking into that. I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the claims for the period of January 30th, 2021, February 5th, 2021.
I'll second. All those in favor, by
Aye.
comment or other business from commissioners or other view county representatives? Anybody? Kevin?
Chris, I have something for you.
Blair?
For those of you who don't know, we have a bridge shut down right now. It's Robertson Road over Otter Creek, which is just north of the intersection of Roberts and Davis. just south of Burnett. That bridge has some scour issues that were brought to our attention. NDOT recommended that we close the bridge until those are repaired. We go a quote to get that fixed. It'll take about 8 days. We did authorize the contractor to go ahead and proceed with that. The work would be about $35,000. Take about 8 days to complete. So they will be working on that. Hopefully late next week we can have that bridge back open.
Hey, and I want to add, if anybody tries to move those barricades, we will catch you. That's right, because we got secret people that hang out and watch, don't we, Larry? Yes, we do.
Cheryl, you got anything? Diane? Karen? Colissa? Okay, public comment, Michael, do you there?
There was not anything that I saw.
I think we're ending too early though. You got something you want to talk about?
So for the first time, we have a comment in the live chat from the public
Oh,
from a user under the name Sherry Hines, and she says, "Good morning."
oh, good morning, Sherry. Long time listener, first time caller.
You know who she is? USI Consultants from Indianapolis.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's come to the meetings.
She responded with a smiley face.
Oh, happiness is abound.
Very nice lady.
Just don't read the comments.
All right, we'll recess to the next meeting.
You didn't have anything? Really?
You have anything?
I mean, I could give a speech.
We don't have anything.
Okay, then. Something's going on, apparently.
What?
Oh, I thought you were leaning over to look at them. I will stop whatever I'm doing.
That's the last